Okay, I'm going to call this meeting to order. Any disclosures of pecuniary interest or nature thereof? Okay, declare that one closed.
I d- I do have a conflict of
Oh,
interest
sorry.
disclosure. I was reviewing victim services, the material and victim services, and I just need to disclose that I actually provide counseling for victim services as well, so I just wanted to make that known. So,
Thank you very much. Okay, so noted. Okay, I need, right, agenda for I need the, motion to approve the agenda. Counselor Kutsovas and Chuck O'Malley. Any comments? All in favor? Carried, thank you. Approval of the minutes. Detachment board meetings held September 8, 2025. Be approved. Moved by Sheila, seconded by, what's your first name?
Jen.
Jen. Gee, Jen, I'm sorry.
That's
My
okay.
mind's short and my memory's worse. But thank you. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Carried, thank you. Okay, delegations. Stella Weiss, Executive Director, Victim Services, Hastings, Prince Edward, Lennox, and Addington Counties, will address Mayor Harrison and members of the board to speak to Quinte West Victim Services Funding for Bail Program. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Chair and members of the board. My name is Stella Weiss, and I'm the Executive Director of Victim Services, Hastings, Prince Edward, and Lennox and Addington Counties. Thank you for the opportunity to provide an update on the bail notification program and to express our appreciation for your continued partnership in supporting victims of crime here in Quinte West. For those who may be newer to the board, this program has been operating in Quinte West since 2011. It began as a pilot project, and following its success, this board made the important decision to continue funding it. The decision has meant that victims of crime in the community continue to receive timely, potential life-saving information when an accused person is released on bail. The purpose of this program is simple, but it is vital. When someone is charged with a criminal offense and held for bail, Victim Services is notified and actively monitors the court's proceedings. Our team then reaches out directly to the victims to make sure they know what's happening, whether there's been a release, and what the bail conditions are. We walk them through what those conditions mean and help them take steps to stay safe. That support often includes safety planning, emotional guidance, and connections to shelters and/or counseling, all at a time when victims are feeling especially vulnerable and uncertain about what comes next. In the past year, our team received 375 bail notifications, resulting in 124 victims being directly supported through this initiative. We also made 414 follow-up calls after bail hearings to check in on safety and provide ongoing support. Each of those numbers represents a person, someone navigating fear, uncertainty, and risk, who was able to take proactive steps towards safety because of this program. We've also seen a 12% increase in the referrals from the Quinte West O.P.P to victim services compared to the previous year. This reflects both the growing need and the strong collaboration between our organizations. Officers have told us they feel reassured knowing that victims are being contacted and supported right away. The impact is deeply human. About 54% of our bail court appearances involves victims of gender-based violence, highlighting just how critical this program is for some of the most vulnerable members of our community. One survivor told our team that being notified of her former partner's release gave her the time to leave safely. That one call, made possible through this program, prevented another potential crisis. Looking at the broader picture over the last 3 years, our team has attended 579 court appearances, made 727 follow-up calls, and 206 victims have received direct notifications from us. These overall numbers show the sustained, tangible impact of the bail notification program and the strength of its ongoing partnership. The need for timely communication is not just an idea, it is very real. This past year, we supported victims connected to a shooting in Frankfurt, where an individual sustained life-threatening injuries and the accused was held pending a bail hearing. Through the bail notification program, Victim Services was able to connect with the victim, a witness, and the family to ensure a smooth transition to short-term emotional and financial support. while helping them plan for long-term safety and well-being. This is exactly the type of situation where a program makes a difference, ensuring victims are promptly informed, supported, and empowered to take steps to protect themselves. The Canadian Victim Bill of Rights and the Ontario Victim Bill of Rights both affirm that victims are entitled to information, protection, participation, and restitution. The bail notification program brings these rights to life. By reaching out immediately when bail decisions are made, the program helps victims plan for safety, understanding what's happening next in the justice process, and build confidence in both the police and the courts. The initiative directly supports the board's priorities, enhancing community safety, supporting victims of violence, and improving coordination among local services. On behalf of Victim Services, Hastings, Prince Edward, and Lennox and Addington, I am formally requesting the continuation of funding for the bail notification program. Your ongoing investment in this initiative has been a measurable and lasting impact on the victim safety in Quinte West. Together, we've built a model of collaboration that protects victims, prevents re-victimization, and strengthens community trust. I'm proud of what we've accomplished and even more optimistic about what we can continue to do together. Thank you for your continued commitment to collaboration, compassion, and community well-being, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Go ahead, Chuck.
Thank you for that presentation. It was very well done and very well researched. My question is, from the new detachment commander, you've obviously worked with other victim services and so forth, and I know there's been a strong relationship with our board here, and I'd just like to get your perspective in terms of the relationship that you have.
Absolutely. It's a very good relationship, and this is something that the victims do need. Oftentimes, when you speak to victims, they'll talk about, the police investigation and how they were handled initially, and that's very well. But sometimes where the fall down is the follow-up and the notifications that they get. And it's very well intentioned by the officers, but they've moved on to another call. And the only way that that happens is through victim services being engaged with them and allowing that communication to continue right to the very end, to those phone calls and to letting them know what's going on. So this is extremely important, and we have a very good working relationship with them.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Any other comments? Anyone? Well, again, thank you very much, and there's absolutely no reason why we will not continue to support this program and this initiative.
Thank you so much for
I
your
think
time.
it's fantastic, and as the inspector has said, yes, it's very important to all of us, and everybody should be treated with respect and dignity. That's our policy, that's what we adhere to, and that's the only way that life can continue. So nobody, yeah, anyways, I've said enough. Thank you very
Well,
much.
thank you very much for your time.
Appreciate what you're doing, really do. Okay. Next one, we're starting with S's today, Shelby. You're on today with Bill Mills, and I want to speak to your initiative, what you're trying to do. I see a sign on the car said drivers needed.
Yes, thank you for the honor of being here and being able to put forward our little problem. I've basically operated ABC Taxi for 33 years. I'm reminded of that every day because that's the age of my daughter. We've actually done not too badly up until the age of the diseases that go around. And now we've come into a real problem, whereas we don't seem to be able to get licensed drivers, or at least taxi licensed drivers. It's the innovation of the new company that is looking after the licenses. We have not, in 3 months, got one license driver. It creates a real big problem. We strive to serve the community, to make everybody happy, but when it comes to the point that we have to basically, at my age, I have to start driving again to pick up customers. It's a little bit of a problem. We don't want to basically blame anybody, but they tell me if you get a license in Belleville, it takes like 14 days. It used to be that we got one in Trenton from anywhere from 7 to 14 days. And who the new company is, they obviously have no relation to Trenton. So I think we're kind of at the bottom of the totem pole here. I know that we're losing substantial amount of money every day just because we do not have the number of drivers that we need. We've had lots of drivers that are applying, but nobody's getting a license. And it is a real big problem.
Anything to add to that, Shelby, or?
We have, we obviously spoken with you, Mr. Mayor, and we've reached out to Tyler Alsop's office as well, because we were made aware that it's more of a provincial issue. I think that the difference between a lot of these bigger communities and Trenton or Belleville is that we don't have some of the other transportation that some of these bigger communities have, which is good in some ways and bad in others. And I think that being the only cab company for quite some time, we are no longer, but being the only cab company for many years, we are the only ones that were able to provide transportation and delivery to certain places in the community. So we are contracted to fulfill these things, which we want to do and don't want to let anyone down, like as my dad said, such as the hospital, school boards, different things like that. But then it's difficult to serve the public. So when they're calling and we can't fulfill their wishes, they're just moving on. And it's the new vulnerable sector check, so that's what's kind of causing the issue. And Tyler Alsop's office did reach back out to me, but it was, let us know when we get to 40 days. So when that record check takes 40 days, which is quite a long time, especially for someone who's looking to start a job. I don't know many people who can go that long without working. So I guess we're just looking for more support or maybe some alternative ideas and in terms of how to get these vulnerable sector checks. I know we don't know a lot of the ins and the outs of what they look like when we come into the detachments and things like that. I know, again, O.P.P is provincially based and Belleville is separate because it's their own standing. I'm just wondering if there's any other options or if there's any other support that we could get.
I'm going to ask Inspector McNaught to give us an update.
So I appreciate what you're saying. This information was provided all the way to Commissioner Creek within the O.P.P. He's very well aware that Triton is taking several weeks to get these checks done. The information that came back was that they did have a meeting. They're hiring more people to do these checks. It seems like now every company is requesting criminal record checks. There's the volunteer checks, there's vulnerable sector ones. They're getting, I think, upwards of 1,200 every day. So to stay on top of that is quite difficult. That being said, it is an issue when it takes several weeks to get a vulnerable sector check or criminal record checks. And also what is happening is people are sending their applications in thinking that they require a vulnerable sector check, and they don't, so the applications are then getting sent back, and it's taking that much time. So is this something, sir, that you, it's mandatory that your drivers have the vulnerable sector checks? Because that is a different check altogether that does take longer.
Vulnerable sector checks are mandated because we deal with vulnerable populations. So because of the school board and the hospitals
Because you're
and things like that.
transporting children. Okay.
Yeah, the taxi licensing says you need it.
Okay, absolutely. One of the things that I did say, and I'm not sure if either one of you were speaking to Sergeant Luddington, but I had mentioned that I was willing to extend the licenses for a month while you waited for those vulnerable sector checks. I'm not sure if I haven't seen any come in to the detachment. What I'd asked is those drivers come in and I would extend their license for a month to hopefully in that time you would get those checks back.
So we do, sorry.
I was talking to Sergeant Liddington last week, and in particular about an individual who was licensed in '24, and he said that initially that they needed a copy of their past license. This individual had one, but because it was '24, not a '25, he said he couldn't do that. Well, if they had a '25, they wouldn't need a letter of extension. But this individual had applied, but it's a '24 license that they have, not a '25, which in reality, for so far as an extension goes, doesn't make sense to me.
So when would his letter have expired?
So it would have expired for
December 31st.
Of 2020,
25.
2024?
Yeah.
Well,
2020.
December
25.
31st.
Yeah, okay. If you have any drivers that are within the time frame that their license is going to expire and they're waiting for their vulnerable sector checks, have them come in and see me at the detachment. It is a problem across the board. We're very well aware of that, which is why someone as busy as Commissioner Carrique has taken it upon himself to hold those meetings, to really encourage that the process get picked up, that they're hiring new people, because we can't wait several weeks. It does impact the community. It does impact businesses. He's aware of that. But if you have any drivers that do fall into that time frame where their license is going to expire, but they're still waiting for it, have them come in and see me so that I can extend their licenses.
Councillor O'Neill?
Mr. Mayor, is there any way we as a municipality could prepare a letter to the Premier and our local MPP telling them of our concerns about the length of time it's taking to get this done and requesting them to somehow improve this?
Yes, we certainly can. Josh, you can handle that, right? Mr. Clerk? We'll put a motion on the table.
Make a motion to do that?
Second, Councillor, second by Mr. Reid. All in favor of the request? Carried, thank you. Okay, thank you very much, Shelby and Bill. Sorry, go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
through you to Inspector McNaughton.
Yep.
Does Triton just deal with it if someone were to send in their vulnerable check November 1st, gets priority over November 2nd? Or would they look at something like an individual needs it for work versus a volunteer that's just trying to be proactive for the upcoming school year?
I don't believe they prioritize. It's just done in whenever it's submitted. Yeah.
Would that be too much work for them to kind of look at those things? We could include that in the letter, that's all I'm asking.
Yeah, certainly it's something that could be written to. I'm not sure, I mean, I could be wrong. When it gets there, maybe they have people that just do the volunteer ones, and then they have others that do the employment ones. I'm not sure how it works. I would say, though, that when they come in, they may be categorized like that, but it would be by date. It wouldn't be by priority, because I'm not sure how we would determine that. I get the difference between volunteer and employment, but then somebody handing theirs in is going to think that theirs is more important than somebody else's employment. So I think it just comes in as when it's being submitted.
We'll ask our clerk to be in discussion with you, Inspector, so that we got the letter the best way possible.
Absolutely, thank you.
Best information by request. Okay, well, thank you very much. Not much else. I wish I could, I'm not a taxi driver, so don't count on me. Okay,
I understand that, but it's the way that the system has changed.
well,
Initially, it were done by the city.
yeah, and if
O.P.P.
a change is an improvement, fine, but if a change is not an improvement, it's not of much benefit to any of us.
That's right.
Okay, well, we'll certainly look at it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Okay, anything under, anyone for public input this morning? Come on up if you are. Public input, anyone? Well, I'd say that's closed then. Correspondence, I don't know if there's anything new on our budget at all. Anybody? Okay, Mr. Reed, go ahead.
Mr. Chair, I've got a couple of thumbs up today, and I've had more
Good.
thumbs. I'd have more thumbs up, I guess. But
That's good. Glad to hear it.
anyway, I'm saying that in reference to the correspondence item 7A, and where we talked about getting a snapshot look at the budget at different intervals during the year, and then, of course, the intervals now are board meetings, and they're 4 years. So anyway, I think that's very important for us to do for a whole bunch of reasons that we talked about the last meeting, so I'm not going to get into that. And personally, I'm not looking to micromanage or drill down every expenditure line, excuse me, or whatever. But I think it's important for us to know as board members how things are, and what I will be doing, though, is, you know, we got 12 months of the year, and when we're up to, I think it's October, I think this, so that's 10 months worth, and I'm going to be looking for how we're doing on that 10/12ths, and whether we got 2/12ths left, and I will be doing that as other board members will as well. So there's a few people that helped us along with this. I think I'd like to thank Councillor Dave O'Neill for taking a hold of this and moving it, and the other thumb up is to staff, and there's many staff members that have been involved. Yvonne, I don't know if you're watching or not, but thanks to you, and Josh, and of course the whole finance department, and Chris Angelo, and so on this matter has been great. So it's simply a snapshot 4 times a year of where we are in our budget, and I think that's awfully important for us to know. So thumbs up to both groups, and look forward to seeing the next report after this one.
Thank you very much. Well, when's the commissioner coming? I haven't,
I believe it's November 16th.
okay. So we do have the O.P.P commissioner coming to Quinte West on October 16th.
Yeah.
So, and I think we've already made a reservation, haven't we? Or you don't know? I'm putting you on the spot. I can't remember it either, but I know we're looking forward to him coming very much, and I hope we all have an opportunity to at least recognize and say hello. So that's my objective anyway. So we'll see what happens. Tell you better, I guess, by maybe a week or so before. But it's been. People have done a lot of work to put it all together and to get him here, so thank you very much.
Yeah, certainly, he's obviously a very busy man, and, but you, Mr. Mayor, you reached out to him, and he's taken the time to come down here. I believe he'll be here for a few hours to meet and discuss a few of the things going on in Quinte West, so it's wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, all right, so, all right. Anything else under, yeah. Okay, we've got. Anything else that we need to, I guess, pass something for? I don't see anything else, but if there is, tell me.
Just, excuse me, Mr. Mayor, we just need a motion to receive all the correspondence if no
Okay.
other board members
Need a motion,
have any questions about the other correspondence listed.
yes. Need a motion to receive correspondence, so moved by Jen and seconded by Ted. Any questions or comments on the correspondence? Anyone? All in favor? Thank you very much. Thank you, carried. Okay. I know we've been busy, I know you've been busy, Inspector, and you know, we do appreciate the people who work in our city and, you know, the taxi companies and all the other businesses as well. So we'll do what we can to help them because we know that, yes, it's a difficult task anymore to, I know everybody's suffering from COVID, I guess, relapse or reoccurrence or something, but it makes it a challenge in some of the businesses that are operating. And it's, as I said, the most important part is that when you've got taxi drivers or anyone else, make sure they're all treated with respect and dignity. There's no other way. Okay, I got it right here. The correspondence from Sheila Raham regarding a proposal to establish Trenton Cab, a licensed taxi service for Quinte West, be received and filed as presented. That's the resolution we need from the board. So, moved by Councillor O'Neill, seconded by Councillor Katsobas. Any other questions or comments? Any other questions or comments? All in favor? Carried, thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I will add that if the board would like to approve that broker license, council will have, or sorry, the board will have to make a motion to do so.
Is there any reason why we shouldn't approve it? I guess that's my question. I haven't seen any, so. No reason why not. So I guess I need a motion to.
Just on that, I just have one concern. If we're approving a new broker, we have an existing one having difficulty with obtaining licensed drivers because of the system, I would just make sure that we are prepared. And because if they're a Belleville company, if they are, I don't know if they are, and they can go to a different system, then that's an unfair advantage in my perspective. I'm just throwing that out there as a cautionary item on this. So I've just give it some thought to get that system in place so that we have a mechanism. So, because guess what? If we do, and there will be major complaints, I'm sure, from the other two existing companies. So anyways, I'm just throwing that out there, and I'll let you deal with it.
Okay, I'm not aware of any situation. I'm assuming that when you're going to start a business, you got drivers. If you're starting a taxi company, you've got drivers. That's my assumption. So, you know, I know what you're saying, but I don't think that that's basis to not approve it based on, you know, that's their responsibility, or whoever owns the business. It's their responsibility to work through the system, and I don't think that they can use Belleville as an example. I think the company has to go through the same process as Mr. Mills, I would think. I don't know.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, the only way that Belleville will run the criminal record checks or the vulnerable sector checks is if their business address is in Belleville. So if the business address is within Quinte West, they'll have to go through Triton and wait the same amount of time.
Assumption as well, that it's got to be done by the same process. Yeah. Okay. All right, so I guess the resolution that the correspondence from Sheikh Raham regarding a proposal to establish Trenton Cab, a licensed taxi service for Quinte West, be received and filed as presented.
So you've already,
That's done that. We need to
yeah, Mr. Mayor, you've already received it.
Yep.
But if the board would like to approve the broker's license, then that would be the motion
Okay,
to
so
approve it.
So the motion would read that we approve the broker's license. That would be the motion.
If it is a Trenton company, I haven't seen the letter.
Well, anybody know?
Is the application not attached
Okay,
to
well,
the
Yes,
agenda?
it's a Belleville company that's looking to put a second
I haven't seen it, so.
Okay, well,
a second satellite office in Trenton because of the need for an additional cab service.
So it is a Belleville company.
Having a second
Okay.
location in Trenton, but as Inspector McNaughton said, they would still have to go through the Triton process. It wouldn't put them at an unfair advantage, to my understanding.
I just need clarity here.
I'm going to say that if they're just doing a sub-office here, then they will go through Belleville City to get their
Okay.
criminal record checks done and their vulnerable sector checks, which would be significantly quicker than the company that's here.
So that's just my point, exactly.
Okay, so what do you want to do? Tell me. Then,
I don't know.
yes, it's up to you. Up to you. Counselor O'Neill.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I believe you're correct that it's not a reason to not approve their license, and I think I would like to make the motion to approve it, because I don't think there's a reason that we shouldn't make the motion.
Okay, Counselor Katsovas?
I'll second Councillor O'Neill's motion, and further to that, there is a sound business plan in the letter. They're being environmentally responsible and things like that, so to deny them for any other reason, it doesn't seem responsible on our part at this moment in time.
Okay. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay. All right, any other business? Counselor O'Neill.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd just like to comment, I had some vandalism at one of my properties, and the O.P.P officer that looked after it was very professional, very helpful, and I really appreciated how I was treated.
Thank you. Very good.
Thank you very much for that.
Have we had much vandalism? It's not Halloween yet, is it?
Mr. Mayor, it's a constant battle. There's always going to be minor occurrences of vandalism for sure. We don't get a significant number of highly damaged areas. I do, if you want to hear any of the stats that I have or any of the occurrences that I have for our CSU, which deals with any of the property crimes, I did have them supply me with just a number of occurrences that they've been working on, if that's something you want to hear, or I can provide it to the board via email so everyone sees it.
Okay, maybe that's the best way then. Thank you. You want to bring us an update on the, I guess, the constant issue with impaired driving?
Certainly, Mr. Mayor. So what we have done for the last week, and it's continuing this week, is we have partnered with Central Hastings O.P.P, Prince Edward County O.P.P, and Belleville City Police Force to go out every night for a 4-hour period. Number of officers, not taking them from the front line. These are officers that have changed their work hours. Myself, the staff sergeant, the administrative sergeant. Belleville City has supplied 3 or 4 of their traffic officers, our traffic unit out of Quinte West, and we're going into the different areas and setting up rides in different locations. So if there's 8 of us doing the ride that night, we're going into 2 separate locations and conducting ride for the 4 hours. I know on Friday night, the officers went to Central Hastings, and within an hour, they had 2 impaireds at the 2 separate locations. And so throughout the night, they did 2 impaireds and 3 3-day suspensions just in that one ride program. With that being said, we are then supplying a media release the next day to make sure that the community members are aware of what's going on and the number of impaireds that were arrested. This is a good initiative for us to do. We will kind of gather all the information at the end, determine was it successful? Is this something that we should do, you know, maybe into January, another one in March? It takes a lot of time and organization, but it is certainly worth it to be out there. And again, like I said, this is not impacting the front line. This is above and beyond the officers that are out on the front line doing their own rides and responding to calls. This is us changing our schedules to be able to be out there and doing this. I would say the numbers, as I've reported in the past, are, it's staggering the number of impaired drivers that the officers have arrested this year, not just in Quinte West. It's in every municipality, it's in every area. So this is certainly something that we're going to focus on going forward.
Any questions or comments from board members? Councillor O'Neill?
As a member of the Police Service Board, I think that's one of the most important things we should be focusing, because that has potential to save lives, and it also has potential to reduce a lot of other things.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Just one quick
Go
comment.
ahead, go ahead.
In the past, I've asked certain officers this question, and they're writing the tickets for distracted driving, and then oftentimes when they get to the court or the justice of the peace, they'll reduce the fine. Is that still the case, and that's why it's not being tackled the way it should? Because people are essentially getting off with a warning instead of the steep fine that it should accompany distracted driving.
What we're finding with distracted driving and a lot of charges, they're going before the courts. The courts are so backed up that trials are being held for several months, and then oftentimes the charges are being brought down to something lesser than what the initial fine was. That's something I'm dealing with at my level to try and ensure that distracted driving, careless driving, some of the more serious offenses, the higher speeds, are not the ones that are being withdrawn or put down to a lower level.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I'll just add one more comment myself, and, you know, this is exactly why we need to keep our taxi companies licensed. We need to help them get their drivers, because they're, I think, a savior for many people who know they shouldn't be driving, but if they can't get a taxi, I'll take a chance on it. And that's not what we want as a board to continue to support. We want to support our business people.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I agree entirely with that. They need to have an option. I've often said these decisions are made when someone's already impaired, then they then decide that it's okay to drive. But if they have a plan at the very beginning of the night where they know they're calling the taxi cab, then we could reduce the impaired driving significantly.
Thank you very much. And I know some wives right here at this table would walk before they would ride with us. If we were, yes. So, and I, looking at one at the end, I know she'd definitely walk. I know mine would too, and so would, yeah, so anyway.
Full disclosure, I don't drink.
Pardon? Yeah. Anyways, thank you very much. Anything else we need? Anything else? Otherwise, Ted, go ahead.
Just a question to the inspector in terms of your operational plan, in terms of timelines and so on. I'm sure that's produced somewhere, but I haven't got it here. How are you making out with that?
You're referring to the action plan?
Yes.
Yes, so I was away in Aurelia all last week on a conference, which is why I had sent the questions out and asked for them to be in by today. I got wonderful responses, so thank you for that, and I'll be working on the action plan today. I'm in Smith Falls for the next 3 days doing sergeant interviews, but in that time, by Friday, I'll have the action plan in.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
Any comments? Who's the detachment commander just to the west of us?
In Northumberland, that'd be Mike Kavanaugh.
Right. And thank you very much. Mike's doing a great job there, and he's quite pleased that he's, yeah, where he's located. And as it makes us all stronger when we know that you've got cohorts who are, you know, doing the job and willing to work with each other and to, you know, help make improvements. So I appreciate that, and we've got to, Mr. Clerk, we got to follow up with the Premier on this business with taxi licensing. So we'll get on that today, and get after him to help us improve there, so. Yeah, Mike was, I was in the interview team, and it was great, so Mike Kavanaugh in Brighton is quite pleased to be there, and I know he has a special friend that works in Brighton as well, so it's all good news. Anyways, anything else? Otherwise, we're ready for adjournment. Okay. Two for adjournment, Jen and Sheila. How's that? Thank you very much, ladies, and all in favor? I guess I need to know, make sure anybody that doesn't want to adjourn can stay. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Talk. I gotta go to bed.
Not a big drinker.